Awesome. Here we go. Hello. Good evening. Lovely day we had today in the UK. Honestly, I was driving over to work where I work over up in Windsor. My God, it was bloody lovely. Do you know what? Right, I'm telling you this. We're going off a little bit on a tangent now. I'll get into all the questions in just a second. But when the sun is shining, it doesn't. I don't care. I really don't care. Like it could be the sunniest day ever, and if the weather was like absolutely freezing, I don't care. I really don't care. I think that I've discovered like the worst type of weather that we have here is actually when it's pissing it down with rain, it's windy and it's like frosty or whatever. Is the worst thing ever. But anyway, I don't work fucking Met Office. I'm not here to say my opinions on anything. Let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Right. So starting off with Stephen, if you had to pick one exercise to do for the rest of your life, what would it be? Good question. Shoulder press. Seated dumbbell shoulder press would be my one that I'd go for. I don't know why. I think it's just because I've got quite strong shoulders anyway. This is us as human beings, we tend to deviate to things we're good at. We are creatures of habit. I'm afraid we are creatures of habit. Right. Okay, let's go. Billy, is that your name? Yeah, Billy 001. What's your go-to pre-workout meal? I don't really have a pre-workout meal, to be honest. I don't eat before like before I train or anything like that. I would normally go for like a black coffee, usually like Americano style. I like to get caffeine in it. I would usually eat afterwards as well. If I were to, let's say, pick a meal, maybe like a banana or something, honestly, I'd go small. When I used to like first start training, I used to go like, I used to eat like a shit ton of food all the time. But now not so much. Now not so much. I've changed. Uh, Jake, how does lifting weights make you taller? Well, it doesn't. It's going to make you more wide. I mean, I'm 5'8", so this is the reason why I got into lifting weights, mate, to be honest with you, because yeah, it won't make you taller. Obviously, it can improve like your posture and things like that, but you won't look taller, mate. So I'm still waiting for my growth spurt. It's been many years. Anyway, Ben, is creatine a steroid? No, it's one of the most researched and one of the most safest supplements you can probably take out there. Basically, it's just like an energy booster for like your muscles and stuff like that. It's not made in like an illegal lab or anything like that. There's a lot of controversy sort of around creatine as well, so I'm not sure why. Not sure why. I definitely need to do more studying into the supplement as well. Okay, Sophie, how do I stop getting so out of breath during workouts? So obviously, like cardio is going to be like super important. Doing things like that, because your heart is a muscle, right? It's the same as like when you would do like bicep curls or shoulder press or any kind of resistance training. The more you train it, like the better you'll be with it as well. Which is why I'd always suggest like doing cardio, things like that, just for overall fitness. But the best thing I can advise you, Sophie, is to just kind of time yourself each time, just as I would tell anybody to log in their repetitions, the weights that they're lifting, and then making sure that the next time you go to repeat that, you're better in your time, you're better in your weights, whatever it might be. Okay, so that's the only way you're going to know if you're progressing is if you log it down. That would be my advice to you. Okay, Josh, how do I know if I'm lifting heavy enough? Well, you're going to be the best person that's going to be determined whether you are lifting heavy enough. So when I train with my clients, a lot of people saying, "Well, what should I be lifting?" Well, it's up to you on what you can lift. Like you want to get to the point where you're kind of shaking. If it's really difficult for you, then you want to log that in and then take it the next step further. What us personal trainers use, we use a method called RPE, which is going to be able to determine how difficult something was. So, for example, if let's just say you did like 20 kilo bench press, so like just a bar, and you did 10 reps and you said, oh, that was pretty easy. That was like a 5 out of 10. Then you would take it up to like the point where it was like, I don't know, 8 out of 10 or whatever. Then you know it's quite difficult for you. And then you would write that down. So then you would just literally go from there and log it on. Okay. Right. Christopher Dutfield. Hi. Bonjour. Hope you're doing well. Ryan, can I get abs in 2 weeks? I mean, you can build strength in your core within 2 weeks, but ultimately, if it means like revealing an actual six pack, unless you're absolutely like super lean, probably not. Abs are going to come from a low body fat percentage, not endless sit ups. So, like, if you put yourself in a calorie deficit, that would be my best advice to you, mate. So yeah, do that. Okay, Tom, what's worse, skipping leg day or skipping warm ups? Definitely skipping warm ups. So I never used to warm up when I used to train in and such, but ultimately it's just gonna there's not gonna be like, how would I put this? If you didn't warm up your muscles, you just basically run the risk of injuring yourself, running the risk of tearing muscles, if things like that. So I would definitely do a warm up for every session that you do, Tom. Ultimately, if you skip leg day, you are going to look a little bit unbalanced, but it's nothing too major. Worst case scenario, you probably just get ripped into it a little bit as well. Emily, how do I stop my arms from getting too big when lifting? I mean, you're not gonna. I'd imagine just by going from your name that you are female. I'm only going to just take a guess here. I know you can't just take a shot in the dark. But what I would say, Emily, is that you are not going to get bodybuilder arms. Women just do not produce enough testosterone for this to occur. So, if for whatever reason you did feel like your arms were getting too big, you would just simply dial the weight back down a little bit, and then maybe just focus on something else. Perhaps maybe work towards like a performance goal rather than getting absolutely massive. Okay, right. Let's go down here as well. Kyle, is it normal to fart loads when you start eating more protein? Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Jack, can I drink a beer and still make gains? I mean, yeah, but in like moderation. Obviously, like a few won't kill you, but if like your post-workout meal was like 10 pints and a kebab, then you're not doing yourself any favors, to be honest. So yeah, definitely not. Okay, Paul, would you rather never train again or only be allowed to do Zumba? Not really. That's a good question. Hmm. Would you rather never to train again or only be allowed to do Zumba? See, I feel like Zumba with like the right amount of cardio and training, I think it would actually be really effective. You know what? Maybe we should all give it a go. Maybe we should all give it a go. Maybe I should host like a Zumba class or something like that, maybe. And just make a fool of myself doing that. Okay. Mike, do women actually like guys who go to the gym, or is it all in our heads? It really depends on the woman, to be honest. Some blokes, like some women, like blokes who train, and others couldn't really care less, I don't think. But the best thing I would say, Mike, is like you want to be training for yourself and not anybody else, right? So, like, now we've all seen it. Like, people go through a breakup, or one of their work colleagues call them fat or something, so they just go, right, go on then, that's it. I'm gonna fucking go in the gym and I'm gonna smash it out. Heartbreak can lead to that sometimes. Or if they've got a crush on somebody, they want to impress them. But ultimately, it is going to come down to yourself and like how best you can perform with yourself. So, Mike, don't do it for women, mate. Do it for yourself. Okay, Chris. Genuinely, how is life going for you, bro? Yeah, do you know what, mate? Absolutely loving it, loving life at the moment. How's life going for you, young man? Hope you're doing all right. Hope your training program is going well. Okay, Kelly, this isn't a question, but just wanted to say thank you for doing these lives. And I've just begun my third week on your coaching app and feeling so much more energized. Yes, love to hear that, Kelly. Let's keep it going. Let's keeping it going. Matt, who's going to carry the boats? Who's going to carry the boats and the logs? I would say us, mate. Us. We are going to carry the boats. We're going to carry the boats. Oh, look, Matt, got another question. What are you going to call your triplets? Is there something that I don't know about here? Is there something I don't know about here? My triplets. Don't know, mate. To be perfectly honest with you. I'll call them after you, mate. How about that? Right. Here we go. Chris, would you ever do a bodybuilding competition? Yes, I would love to do a can't even talk today. I was going to compete in a bodybuilding competition in 2020, but obviously lockdown just got in the way and I've just been super busy with everything else. But it is difficult. is very difficult. Like you've got to drop down to like 2% body fat or whatever to even, you know, think about participating and competing for like third place or whatever. And I've heard that even when you get second, it's yeah, it's not it's, you know, it's a difficult one. I'd like to do it, but maybe like next year or something like that as well. So Jake, what's your opinion on CrossFit? I think it's a load of shit, to be honest. I've never really been a big fan of CrossFit. I get why people want to be a part of it, but ultimately it's just never been in line with my goals that I've had or anything like that. So, but if people do it just for general fitness, then good on you, mate. Good on you. Okay, Ryan, what's the most overrated exercise? Definitely say Smith's machine squats. Now, I'm going to get ripped into this for a lot because I'm quite dead against people squatting on the Smith's machine. I don't believe that the Smith's machine should be used for squats because now a lot of people use Smith's machine because again, it's on the cable. It's not the weight of an Olympic bar, so they feel a lot more safer and they just want to practice the movement, right? The problem I have, and I'm going to make a video on this as well, the problem that I have with the Smith machine is that when you come in to do like a regular back bar squat, some people they cannot arch their hips forward, so there's not much flexion and extension in the hips. So what you actually find is that your legs are kind of brought more forward and there are more flexion and extension within the knee joint, really, which is unfamiliar to the most squat patterns. So yeah. Does fasted cardio burn more fat? I mean, in theory, yeah, but ultimately your body taps into fat stores if there's like no food, like no energy whatsoever. This is why us PTs always suggest going on like a calorie deficit because your body is then not having any nutrients or calories coming from the outside. So it just delves into fat stores because that's what body fat is. Basically, it's just stored energy, right? But yeah, ultimately no form of cardio is, I mean, cardio is just going to help with increasing the size of your deficit. Okay, Josh, is it possible to get strong without lifting heavy? Yeah, but it will take a lot longer. So I would definitely look to just really try and find that rep where you're just you hate your life and just work from there, mate. Okay, Charlotte, how do I balance training and social life? I mean, don't be that person that's just going to be like, nah, man, I'm going to go to gym, bin everybody else off. Like, ultimately, have you ever heard of like the 80-20 rule where, you know, you train like 80% of the time and then the other 20% you just enjoy life's indulgences, you go out and see your friends, takeaways, that sort of thing as well. If you train like 3 to 4 times a week, you will have enough time to kind of socialize as well. But yeah, definitely don't cut out like your social life just in the bout for training is very good, but it can also go the opposite direction as well. If you get way too into it, then yeah, it will just be, it could go bad, it could go horribly wrong, it could ruin people's lives if they get themselves too invested in it. I've seen it happen before, unfortunately. Okay, Big Gaz, why do I always get DOMs after leg day? That would probably be just because you don't train legs enough, or you're just nuking yourself in your workouts. So it could be one or two things. So just keep working, Big Gaz, is what I would say. Okay. All right. I don't think we have any more questions. So this probably won't be going on for much longer. Tom, is there actually such a thing as too much protein? Yes, there is. And I've completely forgotten what it's called. Something Genesis, I believe. I'll have to look that up for you, Tom. But if you're like smashing like 400 grams of protein, you'll be like a bloated mess. You'll probably feel like fucking shit. Most people struggle to get like 100 grams of protein a day. So I would aim, Tom, the probably for you, maybe anywhere between 120 to 150 grams of protein. Again, just depends on how much you train, really, to be honest. Dave, do you even lift, bro? I mean, yeah, if I did, I'd probably have quite a lot explaining to do. But yeah, I can probably see why people might think that when I wear hoodies and whatnot. Kyle, do you take steroids? No, I've never taken steroids, and I don't really plan to take steroids because it's just I can't be asked. I can't be asked all of it. I was actually thinking about maybe like getting like running my bloods or something, get my testosterone levels taken, because a lot of people like, I'm nearly 30 now, mate. I know I don't look it, but I'm nearly 30. And I think it gets to a point where you just want to run your testosterone levels and just see where you're at. Because got a lot of men my age, you know what they say, your testosterone levels drops like 1%, I think, after the age of 30 or something there is. So you know what they say? Yep. So no, I ideally want to be avoiding that as well. Okay, right. I think that is it for all of the questions. What time are we on? 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna try and get one of these out maybe a couple of days or something. I want to really pump these out more frequently. But yeah. Right. Anyways, appreciate you all. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you all so much. I will speak to you soon. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.